It's hard to understand the way that you went out. I bet you're living with a little hint of doubt. Maybe next time when you gotta show your hand, you won't cut and run, you'll finally make a stand. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Existential questions always get you down. All you want to know is are we lost or found? Is there something that you feel you need to chase? I bet you thought you put me in my place. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. You can run, you can hide, but inside, I'm finally getting to you. Yes, it's true. I still love you, but I am getting to you.
Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5,
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1. Mark.
Think I timed that right. Welcome back to the Resupply with me, guy. Why is it so dark in here? Me, guy next door.
Me, DK. Why is it so bright in here?
And me, Fan. It's perfectly lit in here.
Bringing you the Goldilocks of lighting. Your semi-regular double tap of all things Space Marines and laser tag, laser force, laser tag, laser force, definitely laser force. Hey, boys, how are you?
Someone's been shooting my phaser.
Ew.
Get your head out of the gutter.
Too late. It's there with the rest of my body.
Yeah, how we doing, boys? You good? Good. We took a week off. Hence the title. Excuse the absence. Boom. Nailed it. That's wordplay right there. Great wordplay.
Oh, you kill me. Please, you're killing me. Please stop.
No, please stop. You're murdering me in the street. No.
I mean, obviously, obviously you're doing pretty good.
I'm doing pretty good. I would dare say that I played more laser tag in the past week than either of you have played since Nats.
I mean, bold claim. I play on the week on a regular, right?
Yeah.
we have a site.
Have you played 50 games since Nats? I will be surprised if you played 50 games since Nats.
Probably not. When was Nats? 2 months ago? Let's do quick maths.
Roughly,
I need to set the record straight because old smugness over here is... You're lucky I can't do maths under pressure because boy, oh boy. I
didn't say I played them well.
I will stop the show and turn it right around, okay?
We'll get to your exploits in a minute. Than, how you
Go
doing?
ahead. You're not my real dad.
Let me out of here. Why am I in this van? Speaking of vans, how are you, Than?
Candy. It's Friday. I made it through the week. That is yay. No,
Bringing that energy.
Well, it's so like staying away from work for the time being because none of you want to hear about that. So as I've made no secret about, like I've been basically using pinball to replace laser tag as my nerd thing now because that's just way easier a thing to do.
A poor substitute, but we'll allow it.
I don't think I've seen your nerd thing.
I mean, that's also true. Anyway, and so Wednesday, yeah, we're still at like a Wednesday. I was supposed to have an early soccer game, and then it canceled. And so I'm like, hey, that means I can go play a tournament down at Ground Control, which is a really cool arcade in
cool name
Portland proper. Yeah, it's a really cool place. Like it genuinely is. And yeah, I proceeded to go and play and literally have the absolute worst tournament I have ever played ever. Now granted, it's a relatively small sample size. I've only played a total of 12 pinball tournaments since I started. Cool, fine, whatever. This one though was unquestionably the worst.
Do regular, just out of curiosity, do regular well, firstly, are you called pinballers? Because I hope so. That's an amazing name for people who play pinball. But do regular pinballers refer to a bad day of being like, oof, I had just heavy balls today. Heavy balls. Is that?
No.
Oh, what? Pinball community saw your shit out.
No, that's not a thing. But no, so like this particular format, like the absolute worst possible score that you could get was 5 points because it was 5 rounds that are not important. I ended with 8. So I finished 29th out of 29, and I have never actually been last at a tournament. Well,
there's nowhere to go but up. Nowhere to go but up.
Oh, it was so bad. It was the tag equivalent. It's just like, you know, those games when like everything you try just either doesn't come off correctly or it's being immediately countered and you cannot figure out why it's being immediately countered, but it is, and you're just getting shit on.
Yeah, sucks.
That was me on Wednesday. Like every shot that I was going for did not hit. It kept bricking and just making it bricking into unsavable drains, and it's just like, cool, this is my life tonight.
They sound like a case of heavy balls, man. You got them heavy balls. I gotta make some new merch, I think.
They're too heavy. They go right down the middle. That's a bad place to be.
Yeah.
So that was the not so great part of the week that is not work related, because again, nobody cares about work.
Does anyone walk around these tournaments just saying shit like that's a paddling, like, because that would be amazing too. This is all merch gold, by the way.
Unlimited ideas.
Yeah,
right there.
I think I'm gonna start playing pinball just so I can break into the pinball merch side of things, because unstoppable good ideas machine over here. Dude, I mean, it sounds fun though. Sounds like it's still fun.
Don't get me wrong. Like as a laser tag substitute, it's fucking fantastic. Like it is definitely scratching multiple itches at the same time, which is like cool.
That happens in the laser tag community. You got to watch out for that.
I know. Yeah. If it persists, make sure you go to the doctor and get drugs for that. But yeah, no, it's definitely a it's a good time. I mean, it's just like the laser tag, it is its own collection of misfit toys.
How long can you go without playing any pinball?
Oh, currently?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, if it's like if you go like months, do they? There you go, DK. Do it. Should I say it? Should I even say it out loud?
no.
What a
No.
terrible day to have the internet.
Well done.
Thank you.
I walked right the fuck into that one. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I love you so much, and I hate you so much.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to say it.
You
Don't make me
are
say
a
it.
you are a fucking dickbag. I
Yeah.
hate you so much.
That's also part of the merch line, but not dickbag, but the the
Dick Goldbag, maybe.
Dick Goldbag, yeah. Oh my god, dickbag! I'm gonna put that on my disc golf bag. That's gonna be awesome. Anyway, let's pivot. ADHD kicked in a big bad way this week, and I took up a new hobby. Over the last week, I bought myself a wee ukulele, and I've been learning how to play ukulele, which has been pretty cool. So I'm a weekend, and I can play some Radiohead, a little bit of Pearl Jam,
as they were meant to be played, of course.
on a ukulele.
The shit goes hard.
I told Akito Silverdale in chat. I told him this week. I was like, "Oh, I bought a ukulele," and he went on like a good 3 or 4 minute tirade about how the ukulele is the worst instrument ever, and like people who learn it are dumb and they should just learn regular guitar.
He's not wrong.
I never heard of a Gortar.
I did play that actually. I played it, and then it made both me and my wife cry a little bit because that song always does. Fucking stupid song. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a good time. We also got to play a little bit of laser tag here. We played Force. Than, are you about to start a new podcast for pinball that tilts talkers or flipping out loud? I like both of those titles. Those are good names.
The pinball podcast it's a saturated market. There's already plenty. They don't need another. It's fine.
I'm both surprised and not surprised by that at the same time.
I mean,
yeah.
One might say that the Laser Force or Laser Force podcast market is pretty saturated at this point also. But, just pile one more on top. Who cares? Just get into it.
Maybe it isn't. As I was telling people after listening to the last podcast, I'm like, we're literally just 3 idiots with mics. Anybody could do this.
Yeah, just
anybody who wants to start a podcast, go for it.
Absolutely do it. And because really, and we've said it lots of times, then you say it all the time, we started this podcast for us because we just wanted to catch up and talk about laser tag. And, it's nice that other people want to join in the conversation as well. So, I mean, if you like a thing, talk about the thing on a microphone. And I mean, if it gives you joy to do that, then do it. It's great. But
I feel like that there's a whole more meta argument about, perhaps it being so easy for people to start podcasts has been the downfall of Western civilization. But I feel like that's a more meta topic than necessarily this podcast should cover. I think
there might be one or two other reasons why the end of civilization is coming other than podcasts, but whatever.
The podcasts are the symptom of the larger issue.
Yeah, that's right.
There's way too many idiots, and giving them all a platform where people feel that they should be taken seriously is not a good idea.
I mean,
it was better back when people knew they were dumb and they stayed in their place.
Stay in your lanes. You fucking deal with your heavy balls like regular people.
Paddle them profusely.
Yeah, paddle them balls. So we played lasers also this week, but we've gone on a run of having people away or they're sick or they're working or whatever. So we've had nights the last couple of weeks where it's kind of been sort of 7 or 8 of us. I think there were 7 of us this week, and so we took the opportunity to play a bunch of games that we don't normally play or we haven't played in a while. So to go through the list, there was some laser ball, we played some dead aim, we played some time warp, We made Sneak's son be the fugitive, which was great.
If you lose, you're grounded.
Yeah, we played deathmatch. We played capture the flag. There's some evolution in there. It was pretty great. It was pretty great. People take podcasts seriously? No, they shouldn't, especially this one. But yeah, had some Time Warp 2, but different kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that joke to get made, and honestly, if someone hadn't made it in chat, I was going to. So that
I'm
works.
glad it
Thanks,
was
dude.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, it was
That's for the
cool.
old people.
It was a cool night, and most I don't think, aside from maybe me and Sneak, everyone else hadn't played Time Warp before.
Okay.
I don't know how many of the crew would have played Capture the Flag. We played Deathmatch last week, but like playing it last week made me remember how like fun it is. And they use the beacons. Like if your maze has Gen 8 and you have beacons, then you can capture beacons, which gives you frags, which is kind of cool. So it adds like a new, like a whole new element to the game, because in our maze, there's a corridor, the corridor between red and blue base, there's like a beacon and then two, like, I forget what they're beacons as well, I guess. There's three beacons in that hallway.
Of a kind,
Yeah. And then there's also the two bases in the corners. So that corridor in a deathmatch is like in most games, it's just, you just dominate that corridor and you'll dominate the score. Because
I'm pretty sure every standard game or color conquest game that I played when I was in Auckland, it was just me and Marcus fighting over that corridor the entire time. It was like, no, this is my real estate.
Yeah, exactly right. Because that's where all the boosts are. But having the beacons means that it does force some action to the other side of the field, because there is a beacon over there that you can go and claim. So it's a cool feature. I really like that as a feature. We should have played Missiles Only Shadows. We did actually. We played Insane Shadows in the Dark, which was, it's always a good game to play. Turn off all the lights in the arena. It's a little different with Gen 8 because of the obviously you got a screen on the back of your phaser, and for anyone that wears glasses in an arena, it's already hard enough to see, because like any light bouncing at your glasses just, hazes over everything. But when you turn off all the lights and all you have is your like phaser just beaming light back at your face,
oh god.
You kind of have to adjust your phaser grip. So it's the only time I ever like I'll turn the gun sideways and like have because we play one-handed anyway. So we play one-handed phasers turned on. So I'll turn the gun sideways, cover that up, and just kind of hold it like that. Which is poor technique, but it is what it is.
Yep.
But yeah, really fun night. Really, really fun night. It's a good way and we talked about it in the past, like, because we have the subscription service, playing those nights, you could play as much or as little as you want in the evening, and you're going to get your money's worth. So yeah, it's meant that even on those nights where we don't have 10, we're still getting really fun games of laser tag. It's been really, really fun, actually. Yeah. And cool to see, like, people we've been playing with for a while experience these games that have been around the system for a while.
That you just don't get that much of a chance to necessarily play all the time.
Yeah, because
Time Warp legitimately is like one of my favorite games.
Yeah. Like, none of us, to be fair, knew how to play it.
That makes it even more fun.
Yeah. So we played 2 in a row after we figured out, once you drop a Time Warp, you can't shoot, and because people
important thing to know. Yes.
Yeah. People would activate it and then be like, "Oh, I think I'm losing. It's making a sound like I'm losing." But yeah, it's been pretty fun. It's my second favorite game mode with the lights off specifically. Dude, it's so much fun.
And then when you really start bullying people on time warping, you chase around the person who's time warping and missile lock them to drain them while they're trying to drain. But then other people don't want you to drain them, so they'll shoot you so they can drain them instead. So,
we're still talking about laser tag?
Maybe, I don't
Maybe.
know.
Okay.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I
It's
didn't know
fine.
that. Right? If you missile lock someone, it steals their time.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. Yeah, we should have read the book. There's so many games.
Welcome to the Time Warp podcast. You didn't know what you were getting today.
Welcome back to Let's Do the Time Warp. There we go. That's just for you too. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of games on Gen 8 that we haven't even tried, and we really should read how to play them and give them a hoon because, you know, these kind of nights, they're fun, really, really fun. Yeah. Okay. Shall we talk about? Should we talk about what happened?
Oh, we need to talk about what happened.
We need to talk about what happened. No, let's talk about what happened. What happened, DK?
Well, I did go to Syracuse, New York last week to go play some laser tag, which I was very excited to do because I was not sure that it was going to happen. As I've told people previously, I had surgery last month. I had no idea what the recovery timetable was going to be. It ended up not being as bad as I feared it would be. So when people were talking about doing the Q's event here and there, I basically was just telling people, I'm like, well, I'm interested, but I really don't know. So it's going to be kind of a last minute call if I do. And it was about 2 weeks before the event that I'm like, yeah, you know what? I feel well enough to go do it. And I feel like I'm climbing the walls here with work is just driving me batty. So I should probably go play some laser tag. So despite it not being necessarily financially sound, I paid too much for a ticket to go to Syracuse, but mental health wise, I think it was definitely needed. And I want to thank Aiden and Autumn and Disco for making it possible, basically for kind of helping me out and saying, look, if you can, like, you can crash with us, you can ride in our cars, all that kind of stuff. If you can just get yourself to queues, like we'll help you out. And that
That's
was
cool.
definitely helpful for me because like between Brisbane surgery, us having to get a new air conditioner this year, let's just say like the funds are not where I would like them to be. So there's going to be some rebuilding that happens next year. But you know what am I going to do? Like not play laser tag? It was really good to see people for a week and just to kind of and to give a light surprise to people because I was listed as a mystery player who was coming, but there were a few people who are just like, well, based on like what we know and like where there's this person's supposed to slot in, it's probably DK.
Yeah.
But,
That's nice though. That's really cool. It's nice when the community can do that for people. Yeah, yeah, it's really cool. Shout out to those guys. Shout out, Sacramento crew for
and thanks also to Beans and Baden for picking us up when we got him from the airport because we got into queues late on the Sunday night, I guess. Yeah, we got in late on the we got in late on the Sunday night, and of course, you know, the rental car kind of like everything else in queues closes at like 10 p.m. So they were nice enough to come get us from the airport. Initially, it was going to be Beans having to take 2 trips to get everybody from the airport to the Airbnb, which fortunately, the Airbnb was literally like 7 minutes from the airport. It was not that big a deal, but still, Baden coming along and helping Beans out meant that they only had to make 1 airport run. So that was nice of them to do and drop us off at the house. And then we got together. We had like lunch a couple of days. Everybody went out for kind of a big outing on the Thursday. We met up with Beans again Friday night when we got back into queues because we most of the Sacramento folks, we drove to Niagara Falls on Friday just to go experience that. That was cool. And then got to see Beans again before we left. So it was a nice little trip. Good chance to socialize with people, some of the Utah folks that came out. Lots of new people came out. We had lots of people from the Armageddon scene who were coming out to really experience Force the way that it's meant to be played rather than like the 8-on-8s at Armageddon. So definitely learning experience for a lot of the kind of East Coast Armageddon players. And we had 2 brand new people from California. So even though we don't have a site, the word has spread and we're trying to get some new people in, but it really was their first foray into any kind of laser tag, let alone SM5. So it was a steep learning curve for them, I think.
That's awesome. Where, like, how did they how did that happen?
Well, one of them is cousin of another previous player from Sacramento who kind of got in to know Autumn and Aiden, and then somebody else used to work with Disco. So just they were kind of kicking around talking about this or that. mentioned laser tag, mentioned this event coming up, and it was like, yeah, I could be persuaded to go check that out. So yeah, so
That's
if any
wild,
sites are having
dude.
trouble attracting new players, get on our level because we're bringing in new players not even having a site. So everybody else has no excuses.
That's pretty wild. That's crazy to think that someone was just like, hey, do you want to come with us to the other side of the country
Yeah.
and go on a laser tag holiday? They're like, yes, that sounds cool.
I'm going on an adventure.
Exactly.
That's right. All right. So obviously was what was it called? The Syracuse Shenanigans?
The Shindig.
Shenanigans better. Shenanigans better. Syracuse
there were some shenanigans at the Shindig. It happens.
Yeah. And what, a week?
Yeah, so we played for 4 days, basically. The official play that we had of people in pools and whatnot ran from like 4 to 10 every day, but most of us, or I shouldn't even say most of us, some of us got there earlier, like noon, 1 p.m. We played a whole bunch of games before like play even started. So I think I played 50 games or something in 4 days, and I would wager that Disco probably played more. He probably played more, like 60 or 65.
Goodness me.
So quite a few games that we got to play, and it was a good experience. Our team that we got selected for the pool play kind of got bashed around a little bit and was feeling kind of bad about that. But then with just some of our random fun social games we played, a couple of them were like, okay, yeah, actually, I kind of remember how to play this game. Sometimes I'm okay at it.
Occasionally,
when we're not just getting dumpstered on the back end, because it was kind of unfortunate for us. So the way that that everything worked was Beans and a few other people put together a list of just splitting players into tiers. Like we essentially had 36 players. So we put 6 players in each tier. We were going to put, the 6 teams together. So you can keep the same team for a couple of days with the goal of training up the newer players. Like that was a big emphasis behind the event, was to help like bring people new into the scene for the Armageddon players, for these new California players, etc. Our team had some difficulties because, not necessarily through any fault of our own or drafting, we kind of both ended up with 2 F tier players, and the person who was supposed to be our C tier player wasn't there on the first day, and we ended up with somebody who was probably more like a D or E tier player. So we essentially had like, it was me and Kodama, and then some people who were either brand new or who hadn't played in a while. So it was a little bit difficult on that end, and it wasn't helped by things that, much like in January, Grack drew heavy so many games. Like it was absurd. I think it was literally more than half her games she was drawing heavy for a 1 in 6 chance. So between that and our brand new player, so one of the other California guys, brand new, he would also draw ammo a lot of games. So it's like when you have a heavy who's disabled, who really can't move very well, and you have an ammo who's brand new to the game, arguably the 2 hardest positions to play in Space Marines, just the back line would crumple so easily, and we would just get bounced around the arena. Like it was not fun. But fortunately, we had lots of other games to balance that out. We were doing the sort of box of destiny. On the 3rd day, I suggested a kind of fix for how that should go, especially because I think when you do have brand new players, you want to give them enough play in a game that they have a chance to like learn from it and to optimize certain things and apply lessons, which having a completely random game, I think, doesn't always promote that. So on the 3rd day, the kind of fix that I had proposed was essentially, you take the box of destiny, but you only draw 1 set of positions. And then since we know what tier everyone is in, you just have 1 team draw, and whoever draws that position, like whoever's in their same tier on the other team,
you match.
They take that same position. You match. So if tier A draws commander in game 1, then the other tier 1 player is commander on the other team. And if the E player gets ammo, the E tier player's ammo, etc. Like, you guys know how it works. So that did seem to make things a little bit better on the 3rd day. I would definitely kind of propose that for tournaments where you do have some newer players, because if you're just matching across position, then you at least have like an argument to make that, well, this was a fair game. It was split evenly on both sides. Like both teams had a chance to do that, versus in some games like, well, it was just a bad draw. There's nothing you could do. Like we were going to get stomped because, look, their A and B players got 3 hit positions and our E and F players got 3 hit positions. So they were just like no match for them. And that I don't think you're going to learn that much, especially if you're a brand new player. I think if you're going to do a full-on random draw, like everything's 100% random, there needs to be a certain kind of like minimum threshold that players are at, because the smaller the skill gap is between players, I think the better a random draw game is.
Absolutely.
Because it's like it makes it less prone to like these massive swings one way or another. So that would just be my 2 cents for organizing those kinds of events going forward, whether you want to call it a tournament or just a kind of for funsies thing, because there weren't any trophies on the line. But anytime you're going to have the same team like for a few days and you're going to have people drafting teams, people are going to be competitive. Like you're going to want to try to draft the best team that you can. So you want to try to just make it as fair as possible so that the new people learn things. But from what I could tell, I think most of the new players did enjoy themselves and definitely did learn a lot for the few days we were there. That's
awesome. I suppose that's that can come down to like setting expectations of what the tournament or what the event is about, right? Like if you're like Nats is Nats, we all have an understanding that Nats is about, you know, best representation from each site.
Maybe we'll get to that later in the month.
Going against, you know, the best of other sides, yada yada yada. But if you hold these fun events and you're bringing a good contingent of like lower tier players or new players, then you're like, okay, cool, we're going to set the expectation that we want to play Space Marines, we want to play good Space Marines. But to your point, like the good Space Marines isn't always just, well, very rarely is if you have a new player playing in one of those keystone roles against someone that is like, you know, a 10-year veteran, like
or more.
And I suppose like that's kind of the benefit of having a regular members night, is that the members night act as you can kind of set those parameters on a game by game basis. But if you have an event, I guess setting expectations. I like that though, that you pivoted like halfway through the week, be able to pivot and be like, okay, so we've gone 2 days of everyone / just our team getting fucking smashed. Let's can we change it up?
We definitely drew the shortest straw, but those were not the only lopsided games that were out there.
I'm sure
it did happen in a few other cases.
Yeah, but I'm sure, like, and I'm just assuming, obviously I wasn't there, so I don't know, but I could imagine that the majority of the player base there were like, yeah, that sounds cool, let's do that.
My impression was that people did like the Switch. It seemed like people were having a better time, and we had more games that went the full 15 minutes.
Which makes sense.
Again, I didn't do any scientific polling on that, but my impression was that people responded positively to that. So
nice.
Again, it's just a question of like you said, setting expectations. What is the purpose of this event, and how can we format it so that we best meet what that purpose is?
Yeah.
If the goal is we're doing the highest the highest level site-based competition possible, it's like, well, yeah, that's why we do Nats the way that we do. But if it's like, this is supposed to be training newer players, you want to be able to format. It's like, okay, well then the new players actually need to be able to have some of these experiences.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think is worth doing in some cases, like it doesn't have to be for a whole event, but you do the same thing where you split people into tiers, but instead of like matching people, like this is team 1, this is team 2, this is team 3, you can say, okay, well, like this is going to be a match for the tier 1 and 2 players. So just get 12 people in there, use the matchmaker, use random draw for that. And, you know, we know that most of these players are of pretty similar level, so this will probably be a good game. And likewise, for the newer players or for players who, you know, just aren't like quite at the highest level skill, like get them all together in a game, see how they do against each other. It's a little bit less pressure. So I think you can do it a couple of different ways. And again, lots of people played lots of games that were outside of this official, like 6 structured teams playing games. We played a lot of other social games as well.
Awesome.
And those were all good fun. So I was definitely happy that I went. It was good to kind of just like clear my head, play some laser tag and, you know, think about good things.
If you've got like the luxury of 3 or 4 days where you can play, then you can run like different things over each different day. Like I like the idea of having a full tournament, well, not full tournament, but like that player base that came along to that event and being like, cool, day 1, we're gonna, you know, run how we kind of talked about. Day 2, sweet, all right, that was really fun yesterday, let's do your idea all right, we have these tiers of players. We put, this half in, run random game. Cool. They come out. We put the other half in, run random game. So that gives, that's giving quality games for everyone. I would imagine there's still going to be blowouts, but it's the nature of the game.
Yeah.
That's rad.
It happens. And there were definitely some games that it's like on paper you would think that one team is going to smash the other, but it turns out differently. And sometimes that is kind of the beauty of these randomish type events, is that you end up with quirky situations like that, and you start to like think about and identify, okay, well, what went wrong in that game? Why did it seem like this team was so much stronger on paper, and why didn't they do well? And the last day we also did have a chance to do some, I don't even want to call them like Nats practices really, because none of these teams are set in stone, but like penciled in. Like we had like a California team, a Utah team, and a Syracuse team that actually we played a couple of matches against.
That's cool.
And that was cool. Those were good games. Gave us a sense of like what to work on for next year. Got my brain thinking about things in a different way, because it is one thing to be playing a whole bunch of social games. Everybody kind of plays one version of the Syracuse meta.
Yeah.
But when you start getting the much more competitive players and teams in there, and they're having to make creative adjustments, it's like I started seeing a lot more things about the Q's field than I think I did in the social game. So it makes me interested to see if things change a little bit next year for the competition, because at least from what it sounds like, it could be a very high level competition with the players who are likely to attend that tournament.
How many people were there?
So it was like we had a full 36, I think actually like 37, maybe 38 players, because you had a couple who like, we'll play a couple games here and there, or we can't stay for the whole time. But we had a steady, full 6 teams of people participating. So that's
cool, man.
Really cool.
That's really awesome.
That's such a good amount of people too. Yeah.
Because that included, I think we had 9 or 10 total people from California, and then we had another 4 or 5 from Utah. Baden obviously came out from Detroit, and then a lot, and some other East Coast Armageddon players. I know at least one of them was from Pennsylvania. I don't remember if all the other ones are kind of New York locals, but that was cool. Tivia came out and did a media event. Cool. Like she
as she does.
She heard there was laser tag in the wind, so Tivia magically showed up to make sure that she was there to document it. So
that's really cool.
Got to talk to a bunch of players. So she interviewed some of the newer players, some of the veteran players, and that was cool. So I assume we'll be seeing a video on her site sometime in the near future. Whatever.
Amazing.
She finishes editing that.
Did you get many from Detroit come out?
It was just Baden, as far as I know.
Did Stu not go?
I'm missing anybody. Oh no, Stu was there. What am I? I was like already thinking of Stu as like a Syracuse player.
Bro,
how do you hear Syracuse players at this point? Nobody from Detroit plays anymore. Baden and Stu are Syracuse players. That was a Syracuse team that came to Brisbane. Don't even worry about it.
I was like, I'm pretty sure he sent us a bunch of disc golf photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I forgot. He was out playing disc golf.
Yeah. Smart. That's where you ought to be. Out playing some disc golf.
Yeah.
Getting the reps in.
Yeah. Stu was there.
Yeah. That sounds really cool. Did you have any like particular highlights, like personal highlights, or just highlights from the week outside of,
Those practice games, like I said, were really good. We did end up splitting our match with Utah that we played, and the end of the second game was pretty dramatic because it was just down to a couple people on each side. I think it was Ender and I were playing scouts with the California people. I think Aiden was playing commander and might have been left, and then it was just, I think, down to Snuffles and one other person. Maybe it was Chaser on St. George. It was Chaser or Metalface, I think. But everybody was like low on resources. Everybody was kind of like in hiding. I knew we were up, so I was going into like full hide mode instead of trying to pull this game out and win. And I was crashing in this one pocket, but I had shifted my weight over so that way I could make myself a little bit smaller of a target. But I apparently was putting so much weight on the ball of my left foot and was just sitting there for like 90 seconds to not realize it until I got up and got like this massive shooting pain going up my leg. And I was like, ah! Like, I'm too old. I can't do this anymore. Even with the turf, it does nothing. My foot it wore off. I had a stinger for like 5 minutes. It wasn't that bad. My foot was a little sore the next day, but I was just like, Jesus, I couldn't even like crouch on it continuously for 90 seconds.
Well, just imagine how much worse it would have been without the turf. Like that's where we're gonna go with that. It's like it would have been so much worse if it had been like in Brisbane on.
Or maybe it
concrete.
wouldn't have been. Maybe I would have realized quickly. I'm just like, this is actually kind of uncomfortable. I should shift my weight over.
It allows you into a false sense of security. You're like, oh yeah, I'm in my 20s again. No, ow. That's really funny.
It's been far too long since any of us have been in our 20s.
Yeah, I found some. I've been trying to go through and digitize a bunch of like I can't remember if I talked about it on the show before, but like I got a bunch of the family photos and shit that I've been slowly scanning into my PC, and I found a packet of photos that were from the 2005 Brisbane Nats, and there's only like a half a dozen in there, but it settled the the debate that who was our sixth that year, and it was Lone Soul. But yeah, there was some interesting photos in there. I say interesting because everyone's like thinner and has more hair.
It's mostly just those things.
It's mostly no one was naked. But yeah,
that you know of yet.
Yeah, I mean, I got to go through the negatives, but pretty sure no one was naked. But yeah, that sounds like a really cool week, man. And how like I would say, how was the atmosphere compared to like Nats this year?
I mean, way more chill, obviously.
Yeah.
It was not a super competitive event. I mean, people have their gripes like you always do. People, on a game, and like, oh, that game fucking sucked, or I don't know what my team's doing. But, it was usually, but nobody like really got into anything. Like, I would say the only real contentious issue was after like 2 days, we were thinking about just resplitting the teams and going in a different direction. But then it was like, we were going to lose a couple of players because, I almost forgot. Like Liz and Corbin also came out from Loveland, so we had players from Colorado. Where they're
awesome.
So we had people coming from all over the place, but they had to go back early, I think, because they had exams or something they had to do on Friday. And I was like, probably better to go a day before, especially with everything that's happening with airports right now. Give yourself a little bit of travel buffer. Don't be like, I'll take a 6 a.m. flight to get back from my exam that's at noon. No problem.
No, definitely don't do that. Definitely don't do that. That sounds like that would have been a terrible idea.
Which is also kind of a funny story. So we were on our way back. So honestly, we didn't really have too many problems with the airport, especially in comparison to like some of the things that have been happening with U.S. travel recently, of people getting flights delayed for hours or getting canceled or those kinds of things. So we had like a slight delay in Charlotte going out. It wasn't that bad. We came back through O'Hare, which is always a little dicey.
Iffy,
but it wasn't that bad. But we were actually getting ready to board our flight to Sacramento. And I was like, wow, we're actually going to make both flights on time. But then the gate agent comes over the loudspeaker and was just like, ladies and gentlemen, we unfortunately have a delay. The pilot has refused. And then there was like a pregnant pause of just like, the pilot has refused. The pilot has refused to what? And we're like, the pilot has refused this aircraft because of a technical issue. So we're going to have to get you a new aircraft, and it will be at a new
Legend.
So just bear with us. So we just started like making up different stories about like what the pilot refused to do. The pilot refused to put his shoes on, so now everyone has to wait before they can get on the plane, or just any kinds of things. It's like me remembering like an old bit from Seinfeld where it's like the pilot being like, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry. I left the keys to the plane on my dresser in my apartment." Oh, so embarrassing.
Do they have keys to a plane? Do you need keys to fly a plane? I don't think I've ever thought about that.
I don't think so. I think like if you manage to get onto the plane, go for it. If you can figure out what all the buttons and dials do, go for it. I think that should be 100% legal. If you manage to get onto a plane, it should not count as theft if you can fly it out of there.
Dude gets in there, he's like, oh, I know how to hotwire this thing. If someone in the aviation industry could let us know if airplanes require a set of keys to start, that would be a piece of information that I could die happy knowing. it sounds.
Even most cars don't have keys anymore. It's all like push
Oh
button
yeah,
ignition. Kind of
yeah, but
thing.
you still need your dongle, right? No dongle, no drivey.
I think they just
say
put
in
an
the
RFID
industry.
chip inside the pilot's hand,
And they
like
high
we want
five?
for laser tag, and they just have to like push it into the plane. I think that's what you get. That's what the pilot's license actually is. It's just they just drill an RFID into your palm, and then you can start the plane. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter any kind of plane. You just tap it, you're logged in.
The pilot
just
has
says-
refused to take his glove off, so we can't get the plane started.
It's already you want to hear. Like it probably was not a delay of any more than like 2 seconds, but it was like the pilot has refused. So it turns out. So when we got to the new gate, like I'm nosy. I was curious about what the issue was, so I did see the pilot and like some of the crew hanging out, getting ready to board this other plane. So I asked, just what the story was, and also just kind of wanted to be like, hey, thanks for looking out for us. I hope like nobody's giving you shit, that kind of thing, because you know how travelers get.
True.
So apparently, it said what it was is that like the light system for like the early warning system for approaching aircraft, like a collision warning thing, was not working on that plane. Like it didn't function. It's like now ordinarily, right? That is what air traffic controllers are for. Like they're supposed to tell you, hey, these are things in your airspace. It's like, but we've had some kind of issues. There've been some shortages of air traffic controllers. A lot of people are overworked. It's like, I didn't think it would be a real good idea to not have that system enabled on the plane. And I'm just like, I agree with you 100%, sir.
You know what?
He actually announced it when we got on the new plane.
Legend.
Like what thing wasn't working. Like everyone on the plane was like clapping. Like nobody was complaining. Everybody's like, yeah, you know what? 100%. I'm with you.
Yeah,
definitely want that system.
On a list of things that I am okay with a flight being delayed for, that's up there. Like, yeah, especially with everything else going. Yeah,
I feel the attendant
totally
did him a disservice by pausing after refused, because they're like, the pilot's refused to do the job that we pay him to do. Then you can be like, fuck this guy. But no. Hero.
Exactly.
He's a hero. Exactly. I did want to make a note. I thinking about like the US laser force scene versus say the Australasian laser force scene. You guys need to be kind of commended about how you how well seemingly these non-nats Space Marines events get run, because for the most part it sounds like everyone is there with the spirit that it's intended for. Like you're there to do the game that you love with other people that also love the game, and so it's very like community orientated. Versus down this way where firstly we don't really have, we don't really organize like Trans-Tasman stuff, and I guess maybe that's a whole thing of like, well, it's an international flight, yada yada yada, so it's a little harder, I guess. But in some instances, I mean, it's 3.5 hours versus.
I was like, nowadays, I don't know if I would even make that claim. It might be easier for you to get to Brisbane,
possibly
just to get to another American city.
You guys are you guys are the 3.5 hour flight to Brisbane. It's a longer flight than that from East Coast to the West Coast.
Exactly.
In the US. So
it was literally at least like 8 hours of transit.
So that's
if you factor in flight changes and all that.
Yeah. So that's kind of like partially my point, is that like you guys are making the effort to show up and continue to kind of keep the spirit of the game alive in your part of the world. And the other thing is, and I'm not saying that there's no drama when these events happen in the States, but from what I gathered, like for the most part, they're really positive, really enjoyable events that are played in the spirit that they're supposed to be played in. Versus, I mean, the last one that we had here was the Triple Threat tournament, and that didn't go down so well.
Right. Well, I think there's there's that whole thing of, because. And I feel like that this should be common to Australasia as well, but for some reason it's not. I feel like here there's a greater appreciation for the fact that like so many places like don't have a place to play, and so when we get a chance to go do a thing, It's like you want to be, on kind of the right vibe for it, as it were.
Yeah.
And it also helps Syracuse as a place to go and play. Like, is it the cheapest and easiest place to get to? Absolutely not. But it does definitely have like the most friendly ownership and management group that you can that we, I think, have in the entire community at this point.
Yeah, it's not close.
In
Like,
terms
it's
of
pretty
like,
close.
I have nothing but
Ours are
respect
rad.
for all of the owners
Oh, okay.
who let us come and play at their places. But I'm like, I played like 50 games over 4 days, and it cost me like $20. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna you're not gonna beat that anywhere
Yeah.
else. And I'm not saying like that should be the expectation. Like, I don't think any of us are booking our tickets for Loveland in February with the expectation that we're only going to pay $20 to play like 50 games.
Yeah, no.
No, but
definitely
they understand. Like, I assume that, like, shout out to Sanch. He's not there to be like, cool, I'm about making as much money off this community as I can. Like, that's not his mindset. Like, yeah. So, yeah, shout out. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm now, sad that I didn't, just pull the trigger and say fuck it and go. But at the same time, my car also cost me $2,200 this week, so I am kind of glad I didn't pull the trigger and go.
Fuck.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So that was the other thing that went wrong this week was, my
Yeah, it's
car
not
costing
great.
me $2,200, which, I mean, that's basically that trip and then some.
Oh yeah, for
which
sure.
is-
Because
which is-
like my flight was not cheap, but I did not. There's no way I spent that much.
No.
I tried to do like pick up an extra meal or pick up some gas for people here or there since they were nice enough to like help me out in getting there. But
As you do. Yep.
it still wasn't that bad. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think I paid more than double for my ticket what some of the other Sacramento people paid for theirs because they bought at the right time, and I definitely did not.
You're like, oh, last minute. Oh, I'm fucked. Yeah.
Other funny stuff that happened. So one of our new players, Young Buck, I was subbing for another team. I remember one game I was playing, and I got assigned as medic. Either that or it was a matchmaker game. I don't remember which, but I was down to my last life. I was handing a bunch of lives out here and there. And then Young Buck, who was playing commander on our team, just comes around to the medic cubby and just bam, just annihilates me for my last life. He just like straight up executed me. So it's like 2 or 3 games later where I'm playing scout again, and he's on the other team, and I'm playing scout against Baden, who's also on the other team, and it's down to just me, and I'm getting bounced from one end of the arena to the other. And I finally like deactivated 2 or 3 people in a row, managed to like sprint down to the other end of the arena, but I got shot on a cross shot. And Baden, who had shot me, doesn't have a reset. He runs around like the other side of red base to sort of flank me on the other side, and he sees Young Buck sitting there in another corner, and he shoots him on his own team, takes his last life, so he can come around the corner and take my last life. And I was like, "You're such a shithead for that." He's like, no, I was avenging you. I'm like, it doesn't count if you use it to kill me.
Scumbag. That's awesome.
Scumbag.
Like, oh, poor guy. He was the
Baden.
cause of my death in 2 consecutive games, and it wasn't even his fault.
Oh, so good. When's the next thing? I've heard rumblings of some stuff getting planned.
End of February, there's going to be an event. I don't have the dates off the top of my head, but end of February, there's going to be an event in Loveland. It is going to be, it sounds like a random draw of some kind, probably pretty similar to how we did this one, but maybe like the next notch up in competition. Like, it's a competition, but it's a mostly for fun competition. Like, it's not a pure training event, but it's also not like a full West Coast tournament or something.
Yeah.
It's February 23rd to 25th.
Ish.
There we go.
Valentine's.
No.
Lovely Colorado weather that may
go.
or may not have a blizzard blowing.
Yeah. The only thing that makes me kind of semi pause is like Colorado in February.
Nah.
I was gonna say that's very much a like tomorrow problem. I'm worried the entire like airline industry is going to collapse in like 2 weeks if we don't fucking figure something out in the States. So that might be the least of our problems.
Also valid. There's also super valid.
Every time I've been to Colorado in February, the weather's been amazing. So, you
Oh,
know.
the one time you've been there.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah, one times it
It's
is.
just it's unpredictable. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not.
It's beautiful. It's bloody beautiful. I'm glad that this event happened because it sounded like a really, really good one and like a beneficial one for like the entirety of the scene. I don't know if hopefully the newer players stick around and get involved in the Discord and start getting in amongst the community because it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty cool community. Pretty cool.
And at least we got Kodama out of retirement. Because
that was
I would hate for a laser tag player to stay retired for more than 3 consecutive months.
Can I just put this out there? If you play Laser Force and you decide that I'm gonna stop playing, just don't announce a retirement. It's so dumb. And I'm looking right at you, Kodama. So dumb. No.
And Taipan and Rusty and all of you other people who have retired.
Now I haven't retired. I've just stopped playing for a little while.
Yeah, that's
maybe.
This is why I have never said that I'm retired either, because I always know that like no matter what my intentions are, as far as like, maybe am I done? Because I've definitely hit that point a few times over the years where I'm like, I think I might be done.
I was done,
and then just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. So,
yeah. Your jerk friends are like, hey, Than, hey, what happens if I come over to this competition? I'm gonna start whispering, especially those words as they came out of my mouth.
Yeah, that was a little creepy. I'm here for it, but it's fine.
It's amazing.
I feel like that's how Cope was trying to try to lure us in for Armageddon. So I think you're not too far out of the ballpark of people's persuasion techniques.
Yeah, exactly right. Brother, you're not an idiot. We love you. We're just glad that you're back in. That the hooks never really get taken out. None of us ever get turned loose. You know. Yeah, you think, nah, I'm good, and then as Than said, it reels you right back in. I was pretty dark on it after Nats, and I'm still conflicted about all sorts of stuff. I'm feeling the same way about disc golf, but like I don't know, stop being a crybaby, Steve.
The disc golf honeymoon is over.
Fucking lost my favorite disc this week. I was so pissed off about it. It is deep in the water at Rosedale Park.
No.
Yeah, that's never coming back. Never ever.
Oh.
Yeah, they'll uncover that in like, I don't know, 100 years or so.
The next geologic age.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's an ex-quarry, that pond, or at least it's as deep as a quarry. So that's what I've heard. I don't know.
You fucked.
Yeah.
You dive down and try to dodge all the spare auto parts that you find at the bottom.
Yeah, it's spare auto parts and like I don't know, human excrement, because it's right near the
it's a body of water. So
it's affectionately known, like next door is the water treatment plants for all of the North Shore.
Okay.
Yeah. So on a ripe summer's day, boy oh boy, does that place light up. Sorry too. Yeah,
I will say it's definitely the best weather in Q's that I've experienced, since I'm usually either going in the dead of summer when it's humid as fuck, or in the middle of winter when it's cold as fuck.
It's baseball weather, baby. Fuck yeah.
But it was nice, and it was particularly nice the day we went to Niagara Falls, so that was cool.
Well, let's say how many people was that their first time going there?
To where? To Niagara Falls?
Yeah.
Or to might have been everybody in our group, actually.
That's super cool.
That's rad.
That's actually super cool.
Now we did not go to Canadian side where you are supposed to get a much nicer view of the falls, but the thing that I do like about the U.S. side is you have a lot more places where you can walk around and go to different exhibits. And you can see things from different angles. You can actually walk onto the islands in between the falls and that kind of thing, which is cool. It was actually funny because they have like all these little displays that are talking about the development of Niagara Falls, about how there used to be like all these industrial factories that were dumping stuff into the water, and it was terrible. And then they had to have this whole effort to re-beautify the area and turn it into a tourist attraction. And like you look over the Canadian side, and it's basically Canadian Vegas on the other
Yes.
side
It-
of the falls.
100
There's just like casinos everywhere. So I'm just like, there's like subtle pot shots here in Canada that it's just like, yes, we got rid of our eyesores on our side of the border, but Canada, you still have your gross hotels that are sitting.
Yeah, no. On the Canadian side is, yeah, it is definitely a it's definitely a tourist trap. That is 100% accurate. And
I'm not kidding when I say it's Canadian Vegas. There's like casinos everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the other thing that Julie and I got caught out by many years ago when we went is to get back. Obviously, you need passport or passport card. Fine, we had that. That wasn't the problem. There's also a toll to get back, and it's 50 cents, and you need quarters. and neither one of us had any change.
Who the fuck carries? Yeah.
Because who the
That
fuck
shit's all electronic now.
Yeah. So at the time, like, we're trying to get back to the US side, and it's like, oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? And the only thing that ended up saving us from having to take like a long walk to find some sort of ATM to get cash, to get change from somewhere, is that like somebody saw us like struggling, like, oh fuck, and like, here's 4 quarters so you can each get back in. So yeah, it was
hobo
very
Americans who don't even have any money.
It was so fucking bad. Like,
Guy doesn't have any loonies, eh?
It's like my God, I have this many tens of thousands of dollars worth of credit card potential in my wallet, and I can't get back into my fucking country because I don't have 2 quarters. What the fuck?
He literally didn't have 2 coins to rub together.
Correct. I didn't have the correct 2 coins to rub together. Technically, the correct 4 coins to rub together. But yeah, you get the point.
Well, in my mind, I always thought that Niagara Falls was way closer to Detroit, but it's not.
It is not.
No.
If anything, it's almost like a kind of midway point in between Hughes and Detroit,
right?
Because I think it's like a 5 or 5.5 hour from Detroit to Hughes, and it was a good 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Like
so it was a full day driving out there, experiencing the falls, having a meal, and coming back. But it was good fun.
Oh, Hyde Park's there. Is that Hyde Park, where they have all the like famous concerts and shit? Someone
that's in London.
Maybe.
It is in London.
I was like, yeah, the famous Hyde Park is in London. There's also a Hyde Park on the Hudson River that's where like the upper crust people, because that's like where one of the branches of the Roosevelt family's from. But
I'm looking at a map. This is Hyde Park. I'm like, oh, that's rad. Yeah, I always forget that because I keep thinking, because I thought that it was so close. I was like, oh, we were on the Detroit side of Niagara Falls looking, but how are we looking at the US from Detroit? Nah, wrong. So yeah, I guess.
Well, I think at least historically that was, I think, usually the fastest way to get from Detroit was to drive across the bridge into Windsor, drive across it, Ontario, and basically come across around Niagara Falls and get to Hughes that way.
Right.
I don't know that's as much the case now with stricter border controls and other shenanigans, but yeah.
Go back to Canada, a-hole. I assume that's what
I think the Canadians are saying, go back to America, a-hole is what's going on.
I don't even remember doing the border crossing. Man, I should get checked.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you. Yep.
All right, all you flipper heads. We
fuck off.
Was there anything else you wanted to say about the event? Anything else you want to talk about?
Not about that. I would say that, not to just make our podcast constantly responding to the other podcasts that are out there, but there was a good episode that Luke did with Taipan on the Pro Sports podcast that I agreed with most of what Taipan said about. The only thing I would frame differently is that I agree that like old heads like us kind of need to get out of the way and let the younger generation do things. But to my mind, like we basically have at this point, like, yes, we have a platform and stuff, but I haven't been really part of an organizing body for a tournament since 2023, and I don't think you have either, Steve. And you basically that was basically just, hey, I don't know as much about making a schedule for laser tag as you do, so I'll plan the after stuff. Can you help me with a schedule? And that was like basically it. But other than that, I mean, I think it's like it's. I mean, Beans has been organizing for a while, but is still kind of one of the primary East Coast people. Sergeant Tucker, and then Aiden Autumn from California. Like those are the people who I think are really putting the energy behind organizing events now. So
yeah,
I'm again happy to hand things off to them.
I can't remember if I've talked about this on the show, and to be fair, I haven't listened to that episode yet because
who has that kind of time?
It's like 2 hours.
It's not so much that, it's just like one of the boys said they listened to it and then repeated some stuff, and it made me angry. So so I was like, do I want to listen to it?
That was honestly like kind of something that I would expect somebody to say having watched that show. Like I could see how some people could take some things the wrong way, but I personally felt like I was trying to absorb stuff in the spirit that it was meant about how comms should be organized. But again, these are just opinions they have. The only other funny story that came out that I actually really did enjoy was apparently about Basil wanting to play on their A team to beat not just the Americans, but apparently beat me specifically because of like how much I'd celebrated in 2023. And it was just so funny to hear because like, and type in, like he gave context behind it. It's like, yeah, given everything that DK has been through over the years, I totally get it why he celebrates so much. Like, but Basil doesn't know him. He doesn't know that had been my white whale for like 2 decades to try to get over that hump. So it's like, the fuck is this guy doing? Why is he it's like he just won the fucking Super Bowl? But,
well, he did. But
it's funny. But and to me, that gives me a certain appreciation for it because like that, like I'm not mad at Basil for that. That's totally fine. But it's funny to think in basically any kind of like sports story, at the moment of your triumph, you become the villain in someone else's story.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, well, you triumphed, but now someone else wants to beat you. And like that is how it should be, honestly. But I just thought that was funny in particular. I'm like, you care about beating me? I'm washed. Who cares? Yeah, you can definitely beat me in Brisbane. No problem. I have no question. You're going to absolutely annihilate me.
Yeah. I think I think when people talk about, and I always got to remember this whenever people are talking and giving opinions and stuff, they are giving the thing that isn't said is they are giving their opinion. So everything is based on how they feel about a situation. And I think that in Brisbane or Brisbane players, especially because they have such a good like amount of people that play there on the regular, but everything is from a Brisbane viewpoint. And from a Brisbane viewpoint, everything in Brisbane has been organized for the longest time by like a select few players. Because that's how it works. You know, if you got people who are around the scene for a long time and nobody else is I guess it's column A, column B. But yeah, but also the flip side of that is they haven't, you know, nobody's kind of stepped out of the way and be like, hey, you should kind of do it. It's just they never said they wanted to do it. It's like, yeah, but nobody's had the foresight or nobody's asked the question, hey, does anyone else want to turn at doing this? So,
and it's a hard thing when it's like it really is all volunteer based. And it's like there's no money behind any of this. There's really no rewards for doing so other than the fact that, well, it's got to get done if people want to play tournaments.
That's
so
right.
That's a difficult balancing act to pull off. But yeah, like there should be an attempt to like bring new people in, to have people have a fair say in what happens. And
it's annoying me,
I think
though.
it is good.
It's annoying me that there's still this, and this is the same thing when people are like the scene is dying, the scene is dead. It's annoying me when people are saying these things that aren't across the board the case. So in Auckland, I personally am actively trying to step away from pushing people into doing what I want them to do, because I don't think that's not good for anyone. Because if somebody, like if I moved. And I'm not saying that nobody would step in and do it. I'm just saying that, like, if someone has to come in cold to do it, or if there's only one person at the top doing this shit, it does make it hard for somebody else to fill the void when you know, Yeah.
I mean, it's old hat to me,
Yeah.
having as much experience in like the D&D world as I do, that it's like I very often get relegated to the role of permanent DM just because it's like most people don't want to do that. Like
Right.
everybody wants to play D&D, nobody wants to DM.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that's been true
Forever.
for 50 years, literally. So, you know,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
just kind of is what it is. And
But-
you make do with what you can.
Wait, let me finish the point. So
Yeah.
to your point before, there's already movement in parts of the scene, specifically Loveland, where I mean, people are making way for new people to come in and start, you know, helping out and organizing
Yep.
stuff and being a leader in the tournament scene. So I think to come out and say stuff like, we need to make this happen. Well, that's already happening. And maybe it's not
Right.
happening in your home site, but it's already happening at a good like portion of places.
And Luke did actually make that point.
Good. I should have listened to it.
You should have. It's actually
You can go and listen to it after we're done.
It's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
a pretty good one. But yeah, no, Luke did actually make that point that yeah, it is already happening in various places in various ways, and you know, here are the people that are taking stuff over. I will say that for myself, these last few years when I've just been able to turn up to a tournament and not have to do a goddamn thing other than play has been fucking bliss.
When was the last time you organized a tournament?
The last time I had any sort of real active hand in
2017.
2018. I did some stuff for
2018.
2018. But like and like since then, like there's been like a couple of very minor like schedule things because I have,
you helped me out. You both helped me out in 23.
Because I have the schedules from various times. So like that's easy. Like I can plug stuff in. Like here you go.
Yeah, the work's already been done.
The work's been done. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
But from a perspective of like just being able to turn up and play and let other people do the things. And sure, I'm there as a resource if people have a question, and that certainly happens, and that's fine. I don't mind like somebody saying, hey, here's a situation, can I get your opinion on it? I mean, obviously I have no fear of handing out my opinion on things, obviously. But it's
welcome back to the Resupply with
but yeah, it's been really, really nice over these last, you know, few years as other people have been doing the things and being able to step back, because for the longest time, and I know we've had this conversation on the show, like there was a very long time within the US scene in general where if I didn't do it, it didn't get done. Yep. And by me, I also mean DK as well, because I would very often Shanghai DK into helping me with things.
Yeah, but I mean, you would still initiate things.
Yeah,
a lot of time, and now that's like I'm saying, that's not the case. Like that is very much like Autumn and Aiden. Like if it wasn't for them, a lot of these side events don't get organized at all, because a lot of it springs out of I mean, like, hey, we want to go play laser tag. Where can we go play laser tag? Correct. Hey, we're going to go play laser tag. Do other people want to go play laser tag?
Yeah, like
then, like Sergeant Tucker, Beans, those type of people, like they really are like the motivating force behind stuff.
Yeah, I think like so, like I know we try to give Autumn and Aiden, and really it's more Autumn and Aiden, as much credit as possible for those side events and whatnot, as kind of like being the initial. I don't know that we give them enough credit because they and again I think it really is more Autumn than Aiden in like 90% of the cases.
I mean, it is definitely a team effort in some cases, but Autumn is very good at like having the checklist and the schedule of things to do. Like Aiden is a really good idea person and is always somebody that you should want to bounce ideas off of, because Aiden's really smart.
Correct.
But yeah, you need that whole like tandem organization. Yeah, thing. A very, very, very academic, high-minded, highbrow word. Right
mission,
there.
quest, thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I should probably go and actually listen to it before I get too mad. And I just also want to wrap that up in a bow of I love Taipan. Love you, bro. Just I think that you say silly things.
Hey, disagreement is good for producing podcast content. So
Yeah, exactly right. I can't wait.
Yeah, get them mad. You get them talking.
We're gonna have like basically an East Coast, West Coast beef going with Luke.
More like a West Coast, no coast thing. Most that happens like Loveland.
What would we should make a what's a disc pod? Let's do a disc pod. That's what we should do. Disc pod.
No. No.
Yeah.
I refuse.
Right. Is there anything else?
You know who sucks?
Get him. All right. Look, over the summer, even though I said in the winter that I wasn't gonna play a lot of disc golf competitions coming up outside of like my Cuzzy ones and any LFDGA ones. I found myself signed up to a bunch of disc golf competitions coming up over the summer. So there will be some weekends that obviously we are unavailable. We'll keep you guys in the loop. I don't think we got anything for a while. Oh, maybe I'll have to double check the schedule. There's either
we'll have shows or we won't.
Yeah.
There's the game that you play every week.
The Armageddon Expo, I think, is next weekend here. And the guest list is actually awesome. They've got like, dude, there's so many cool people. Like Alan Tudyk is here, which is
nice.
Wild, dude.
He is a great panel. I've seen him like 2 or 3 times in panel. He is a great panel.
I mean, the dude is involved in all of the
everything.
Things.
Yeah, you don't realize like how many things like he is either the voice of or the mocap and the voice for or what until you like look at his IMDb and you're like, oh, he was that and that and that and that.
Yeah.
And that and that.
He's
and
the
that,
definition
and
of
that,
a working actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of big name guests. Elijah Wood's coming. Andy Serkis.
That's John. The 25th anniversary for Lord of the Rings. So that's
is it really? That'd be why.
Steve's favorite movie. He did a whole podcast about it.
Dude, honestly, it's really grown on me. I'm rewatching Rings of Power again, and I'm really enjoying it. This really good.
So when are we doing that pod? Is that next week?
We could do that one. Me and you will just do it. I don't know. Yeah. John Boyega, Evangeline Lilly is here. Billy Piper.
Okay.
The voice of Winnie the Pooh. Lots of voice actors actually. Heaps of voice actors. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So there's some big names coming. So I may or may not be around for that. Maybe we'll do a live podcast live from Armageddon.
That sounds like a terrible idea because then you're not enjoying the show. So what I'm hearing,
this show or Armageddon?
Armageddon.
No, that would make me
enjoy this
dude.
Show,
that would make me. I might do a live stream from there instead of us doing that. Well, we'll keep you in. We'll keep you.
I can't wait for security to escort Steve out for doing an unauthorized podcast on the premises.
I'll do it during the panels, just obnoxiously being like, "All right, he made a joke. He was really good." Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, and then we could say like, "Oh, we had Elijah Wood on the podcast," and they like, "No, you didn't."
Just like randomly like walking by and like,
yeah. All right, look, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you very much for hanging out with us today. It was nice to see both of you two. We'll let you know what happens for next week. Maybe we'll try and do something special. But for this week, I've been Guy Next Door.
I've been Basil's nemesis.
And I've been Than.
Always remember, kids, don't let those heavy balls get you down. We will see you next time. Ka kite anō.
to hit that target. Must be